So one thing I'm going to say is that every single one of us, every single human goes into a relationship for their own selfish reasons, period. You may go into a relationship with an understanding that you will have to provide something that the other person needs, but don't get it twisted. Every single one of us go into a relationship because of what it is that we want out of a relationship. And as far as the lady, I feel like she's somebody who's a little bit jaded and she's losing in the sexual marketplace. And that's why she might sound like that. I don't think that every one of these ladies necessarily has some nefarious intent, although it may be a poor judgment call to get with somebody that needs to be healed. What do we ask for in women? We ask for nurturers. We ask for healers. Maybe she feels like that's her duty. Maybe she feels someone who needs help and that's what she wants to do for him. Maybe that's the service that she wants to provide. Now, if he articulates clearly that that's not what he wants, that's not what he's into, then maybe he should avoid her himself, right? Because again, like Andrea said, they're two consenting adults. So he would have to bear some of that responsibility for who he sleeps with as well, only because if he were to violate somebody else, he would be responsible for it. So therefore, you are responsible for your own sexual actions. So you can't get caught up in that, regardless of what your mental state is. You still have to make adult decisions.
I think the problem is that again, I think Jr. worded. I think Jr.'s title of this is actually at odds with what she was actually saying. She's not saying that women are taking advantage of men in that sense where everything is unconsensual and he has no idea what's going on. All she simply said is a lot of women think that that king talking stuff like that is gonna work in these scenarios, and they think they're gonna get what they want out the deal, but they're dealing with somebody that's not may not necessarily be there yet, and then they get burned at the end and find out that, oh, even though I was this person to him, because a lot of women say that I was the perfect woman. I did this, I did that, and he wasn't, and he still fucked up. And what she's basically saying is that a lot of y'all go into the scenario thinking that you're giving what that man needs in the moment. In reality, you're not giving what he needs in the moment. He's doing whatever he's doing, and you thought you were doing what you were doing to get him, and it didn't work. That's all she's saying. Now, she did word it and say y'all need some good men and all of this at the beginning, but when she started to clarify, that's not what I got from it. I don't look at it as some woman taking advantage of a good guy. It was she wanted something out the deal. She thought this would get her that. It didn't work out, and now she's upset about it not working out.
All right,
That's
we got
what she's speaking to.
hold on, y'all. We gotta go to Stacy, Marcus, and let go.
That's going back to that unrealistic expectation, like establishing expectations. I mean, when we say taking advantage of someone, that she, spoke in the sense of, them being intimate, having sex. It's a responsibility that there is, consent. And I mean, we do know hearing somebody say that taking advantage of them is a form of manipulation, using someone. It does take two to do anything. But I do feel like there is some type of ownership to the person who has come to themselves, who knows what their intentionality is, to take advantage of this vulnerable person, to actually take a step back. And, whether they provide them with the opportunity or not to still engage in this sexual encounter, it matters. But then, if I am empowered and I'm with a man who's vulnerable, I'm going to, try to take a step back because I know that I'm in my right place. I'm in my right mind. And, it takes two. And so when most of the time women do have expectations of having, this long-term relationship, or saying that, okay, maybe, this sexual encounter partners with a relationship. There's an assumption. And so you clear up misconceptions, you establish norms, and you have expectations. Even in encounters like this, where there's no committed relationship, there still should be some type of communication. Because had they been, had they have in this situation had any type of communication with each other, she would have recognized his, some of the things that he's going through, because he would have conveyed it to her. vice versa, he would see where she is to see, oh, I better not pursue this situation just because it's available to me. Every deal isn't a good.
Hold on, Sweeney. Let me get to Marcus and let go. I promise you. I want to get to the people.
Sweeney, you be like, I got
I
you.
got
Let
the
me
perfect
just.
example for Andrea. I got the perfect example for her.
I just jotted down Sweeney. And then
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, man.
All right. So yeah, in regards to the video, I think I really understood, and I think if we flipped it and put it in another example, because this kind of would make it even more clear. If a lady lost her husband and she was grieving and she was really going through a rough time and she was really depressed, and then a man came up to her and offered friendship, knowing that he wanted sex. He offered friendship, he bought her things and continued to just be her friend. And the moment that she says, I told you I was grieving and I could only have friendship, and you want sex, he curses out. And she become every ain't shit bitch in the world and ain't da 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 da. That's the same thing. And judging by that, I would say that is predatory, because I want to look at the definition, and it says to ruthlessly, a person who ruthlessly exploits others. So if you catch somebody in a vulnerable state to exploit them for the thing you want, that technically could be considered predatory behavior at the very least. So that's all I want to say.
all right, go ahead, Lego.
Well said.
This is, it's not personal to me or whatever, but I've seen this because my type of woman is the eclectic, earthy type of woman. So as much shit as I talk on social media, you know, I don't like the wigs, I don't like this, I don't like that. A lot of times the women who don't do all the things that I say I don't like, and they have their natural hair and they do this and they do that, they automatically just think they're the ones for me. And to a certain degree, they'll push themselves on me because I'm not this and I'm not that. Yes, they'll be sounding like that. And they'll be, you know, saying certain things, expecting me to just wife them up. And I'm like, yo, just because I don't want these things and you don't possess the things that I don't want doesn't mean that I want you. You know, it's crazy. I don't have these things that these other people have. Therefore, you should want to be with me. What do you have? What do you offer? Don't tell me what you don't have. Don't tell me what you don't do. Don't tell me what you don't wear. Don't tell me what you don't believe in. What do you believe in? What do you do? What do you want? And they can't answer that. So I can easily understand what she's saying, because it's crazy. It's like, ooh, I see an angle, so I'm just gonna, no, man, like a woman has to sit back and observe a man because we're observing you. But I think women don't observe the man that they actually want because they don't care. They just want him. They want what they want. And they just, especially if she's attractive, he's going to want me because I want him. And that shit is crazy.
Hey, Precious, did you spoke on this already?